Howdy folks, welcome back to another video on the Ford here, and I've finally figured out how to get this kick down stuff right. Because I looked and looked and looked in pictures and could not find how to get this kick down linkage fixed right. And there's actually one spring, because I figured out what I was missing and what I wasn't. There's a little bracket back here that this spring goes on, because it's actually two springs. I gotta buy our other one here. But this long spring goes on the bottom, and it attaches down here to back here. Okay, this is our first spring. That way when you open it up, see, that's how it shuts. That's what holds it shut. That's our first spring. Now our second spring here is our kick down. And our kick down slides onto this rod right here. And there's a little clip right in here. So there's a little clip that's supposed to go right in here. It's like an E-clip. That goes on there. And your kick down slides on that piece. And then see, when you push it down, like if you're going full throttle, see how it pushes this kick down cable back. That way when you open this up all the way, it pushes this down. And when you turn the screw in more, it goes against this, your throttle right here, and this is what pushes your kick down further. But I could not figure out how to get that thing adjusted, and I finally found pictures on Google and finally got that straight. So that's how that's supposed to go. And there's another piece that goes down here. It's like a little tiny bracket, because there's a hole right here on your kick down that's a spring that goes from there to down here on your carburetor. That way it holds it back like that, so that when you kick it down, it returns back to the position that it's supposed to be in. Now I have another bracket down here, so I may just take in, I think this bracket's looks like it's bent or something, but we can get another spring to go from that little hole right there to over there until we can order that piece. That way it'll get it adjusted right. But now I figured out what I'm missing, because I cannot figure that out. I looked and looked and looked at pictures and couldn't find nothing. So that's one issue solved. We just got to get this bracket, that we'll order that so we can get our spring that goes in this hole and on that bracket right there. That way it'll hold it back in position like it's supposed to be until you kick it down. But that's one issue I solved. And then our next issue is we're going to fix our PCV here. So this end is broke off is what happened. So this one's still good, but then this end's broke off. And your PCV is actually in here. So we'll find another breather cap for that, so that we can fix that right. And the other thing I figured out is our spacer down here. I have temporarily put a bolt in here for now, but what it's missing is it's got the PCV hose that runs from this breather cap to this spacer. But what happened was I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I finally figured out what it was. It's a little piece that your PCV hose slides onto into the spacer. Mine, I don't know if somebody pulled it out or what was going on, but they had it was missing in our spacer, so I had to put a bolt on it. And that's why in the other video this truck wasn't idle. This port was basically open down here, but I just temporarily put a bolt in it, that way it would run. But I'm gonna probably take and see if I can get another spacer, or if I can fix that, because I want to get our PCV fixed right. I mean, I could run it back here at this port, but I want to fix it right. And it's actually supposed to be a breather. See, this one's a PCV, and then it's supposed to be like a breather on this side, and I don't know what in the world is going on. You got a train over there. But we're definitely getting there. Starting to kind of figure out what's going on with it now. And one thing I want to point out too, we got our fuel pump hooked up now. So we got our fuel line run from our pump to our carburetor. I'm going to go back and reorder this piece eventually. That way we'll get that replaced. But I just wanted to show that to y'all because I can't find nothing good on the internet on how to get that linkage set up like it's supposed to be. Now I'll have to go back and adjust it so that way when I actually get my radiator and stuff and put in it, then we'll get it adjusted so it'll kick down, and we'll have our passing gear adjusted right. Now I went ahead and I got our jug up here now and got our fuel pump hooked up. Now I got to get a fuel filter for it, but we're getting there. So now I got it now where to run off the fuel pump, and I'm kind of getting it, starting to get it together now. I'll show you all this how this thing runs now since we got our fuel pump hooked up. Pump twice. Hang on, it's neutral safety. Something's going on here. I don't know if we're getting juice. Something's not right. I think it's our neutral safety. We got power. I think it's our neutral safety. I'll call him up. Alright now. Set this thing. Nothing's going on with this neutral safety. Oh, here it is. Our wire came undone. I thought it was a neutral safety because sometimes this truck does that. You have to actually pull this column up a little bit, push it up a little bit, then it'll start. Alright. Now it should start. There we go. It actually runs decent now. Might have to adjust our idle up just a little bit. We got our fuel pump hooked up. I'm still trying to investigate this mist over here. I have to adjust the choke in there out a little bit, but it actually doesn't smoke. I've been looking all over for that. I just happened to look down and there's the bolt I was looking for like a week ago. It had a little mess to it. Alright, we're going to shut her on off here. Don't want to run it too long. I've been looking all over for this bolt. That's our transmission pan bolt. Glad I found that. Just happened to look down and it was underneath there. That was nowhere near where I was looking for it. It was sitting like right there. That thing, because it was actually in that area where I had changed the fluid in it. How it got from there all the way back here, I don't know. I believe that's a 9-inch. But it doesn't smoke, so my plan, since it's got that miss, and I'm kind of concerned about that, I'm going to take, and once I get a radiator for it and make sure that it's not going to get hot or nothing, I'm going to just take and run it for a little while, and then probably end up pulling it out, and we're just going to probably just re-ring it. Because I'm not laying out $2,000 for a motor. I think we'll have to adjust our choke a little bit, but I'm really happy about that. Our air cleaner fits in nice. That carburetor runs pretty decent. We just gotta get rid of that misfire. And I went ahead and took our wires and separated them all for our alternator for down there. And what I'm going to do, I think the best way to do it, is I took all our old tape off. I always keep the battery unhooked. I don't like leaving it hooked up. So I got it run off our jug, so our fuel pump down there is working good too. Somebody, the other owner that had this thing, he had put that on there, and I didn't know if it was any good or not. I mean, it looked fairly new, but I'm happy about that because our fuel pump's working now, so now we can run it. Once we get a radiator, we can run it however long we want. I still got to clean that gas tank out back there, so I just got to run off this jug for now. Because I don't want to take a chance of getting new dirt and everything in our carburetor. And I actually got to get some fuel filters for that carburetor. Because I do not want to get any kind of dirt or trash in it, because that thing is brand new. But to get back to the alternator, what I've done is I separated them all from up here to a voltage regulator. So that way we can figure out which one to go to which. And I was right. This big one right here, this one right here, is the power wire. So that narrows one down. And then this one right here, if you look on there, It's got an F, which is field. So this one would be field. And then this one right here is going to the stator. So that would be that one. And then the last one would be, I thought it would be a ground, but it's actually, I believe, the ignition, because it's this one right here. So hopefully, I don't think we'll have too much trouble now. We'll get to where we can, once we get our alternator, we'll wire it up. That way we'll have it start and charging like it's supposed to be, and we'll be able to run it, and we'll have to worry about getting hot, hopefully. Because I'm still kind of wondering if this thing's got a blown head gasket or not. Hopefully not. But I'm glad our fuel pump works. So that's the main thing. It's definitely coming along. I'd actually priced another windshield for it. It's a shame because this is the only crack it's got. It's right in here. The rest of it's, you know, perfect. It's got one little crack right in here, and I'd priced another one, and they wanted $100 at the salvage yard. So when we get to that point, we'll put a new windshield in it. So I want to get that fixed. So I want to basically get everything fixed on it and straight so that I can get a sticker for it. And my buddy had actually, if I buy the seat cover for this truck, because I'm going to get the same seat style cover, because I like that, just the style, got the inserts in it like that, it looks nice.